Hi, my name's Ty, and I never thought I'd say this, but this is a book vlog. Now, there's one thing you will never catch me doing unless it's mandatory, and that's reading a book. You see, I've never really read a book by my own doings. It was always something that the school gave out, or it was something for a class, in school. And the worst part is that out of all the books that I read from the school, I've only ever liked one, and that book was Maniac McGee. But today, ladies and gentlemen, that has changed. I've actually read a book, also from the school though, that I've actually liked. And that book is Treasure Island. And that's what we will be discussing today. This is a warning though. Something we all hate is coming. Spoiler alert. Now, the author of Treasure Island is Robert Louis Stevenson. He was born on November 13th, 1850, Edinburgh, Scotland, but sadly he died December in the year 1894. Now, Stevenson lived a short life of only 44 years, but in those 44 years, he was capable of writing 4 books. Now, those 4 books was Treasure Island, which was written in 1881, Kidnapped, which was written in 1886, Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in 1886, also, and The Master of Belantre, 1889. Now, Treasure Island. This is a story about a boy named Jim Hawkins who lived in England with his mother and father at the family's inn. A loud and often drunk man named Billy Bones rents a room from the Hawkins and warns Jim to be wary of a one-legged man. The one we're going to be talking about today is Treasure Island. Now, once again, I just want to say this so nobody gets hurt. Spoiler alert. Now, Treasure Island, this is a story about a boy named Jim Hawkins who lived in England with his mother and father at the family's inn. A loud and often drunk man named Billy Bones rents a room from the Hawkins and warns Jim to be wary of a one-legged man. After Jim's father dies, Billy Bones is visited by a couple of buccaneers who threaten to kill him, revealing that Billy Bones was the first mate to the notorious pirate, Captain Flint. Billy Bone dies of a stroke and Jim searches through his belongings and finds a treasure map to Flint's treasures. The Buccaneers break into the inn and try to find the map, but Jim and his mother hide safely. As Jim's mother stays to watch the inn, Jim seeks the help of Dr. Livesey and Squire Trelawney. They decide to go after the treasure, and Squire Trelawney funds the expedition by buying a ship, the Hispaniola, and hiring a crew with the help of a one-legged cook named Long John Silver. After hiring Captain Smollett, the voyage begins, although the captain is hesitant about the crew. During the journey, Jim overhears Long John Silver talking to a few others about their plan to kill the captain and the squire so that they can get the treasure themselves. Jim warns Captain Smollett, and they prepare for a fight as the island is spotted on the horizon. Captain Smollett allows Long John and some of the crew to spend the afternoon on the island as Jim sneaks on a boat to shore. As soon as the boat hits the beach, Jim takes off and runs. Jim meets a man named Ben Gunn, a former mate of Flint who has been marooned on the island for a few years. Meanwhile, Captain Smollett, Squire Trelawney, Dr. Livesey, and some others get on a boat and row to the island, escape the mutiny by Long John's men aboard the Hispaniola. They are low on supplies but reunite with Jim. The group takes refuge in a house-like structure, waiting for an attack from Long John and the pirates. Long John appears and wants to talk terms, but Captain Smollett refuses. The pirates attack, and many of the pirates are killed. Dr. Livesey leaves to find Ben Gunn, while Jim sneaks away to Ben Gunn's handmade boat to cut the anchor of the Hispaniola. Jim succeeds, but is sent adrift with the current. Jim eventually drifts back to the Hispaniola and takes control of the ship, leading it towards the island. Jim returns to the house-like structure, expecting it to see his comrades, but instead greeted by Long John and his group. Long John explains to Jim that there is a truce whereby that they were given his group. Were given the map by Dr. Livesey, with the promise of being left alone by the pirates. Dr. Livesey visits Jim and offers him a chance to escape, but Jim refuses after promising to not run away. Long John faces mutiny among the pirates, but survives, leading the group to the treasure. The pirate arrive at this treasure location, but discovered that it has been dug up. Fighting ensues and Dr. Livesey and Ben Gunn rescue Jim and Long John. They travel to the safety of Ben Gunn's cave, where he has stored the treasure after having dug it up himself. The treasure is loaded onto the Hispaniola, and the men sail away, leaving some of the pirates behind. During the journey home, Long John escapes on a boat with a sack of gold. In the end, they all return to England and split the treasure. Now, I don't know about you, but that's an interesting story. Now, the theme of this book would definitely be adventure and fiction. So how could I relate this to my everyday life? Be less selfish and don't trust everybody that say that will help you. Not everybody's a good person, and especially not for this big of a treasure. Now, I would rate this a big 8 out of 10. The story was really good, and I actually enjoyed reading it. Thanks for you guys for coming by to this week's book vlog on the Treasure Island, and I'll see you guys later.